Hi, I'm miffed.
And I am mildly perturbed.
And I'm vexed. And welcome to the hacked phase.
Or was hacked phased. Yeah. Wow. Interesting development. Interesting.
So I'm going with we're just that cool and popular that people wanted to be us.
Yeah.
I'm going with people hack smaller creators because we're idiots and we don't know any better.
I mean, there was lessons learned.
I like my version better too.
Yeah. I mean,
I think that's definitely going to be the first part of the show is like, what happened?
Oh.
How did it happen?
You mean that-
And what did we learn?
that anime babe on
Oh, yeah. I need to get that for the thumbnail.
I took ages editing that video.
Yeah, absolutely.
I didn't put my hair in pigtails today and was pissed off.
I couldn't find the wig, so we're going to do it in post. So anyone that wanted to see me as a anime hentai woman, then you can still get that.
I don't think that was hentai.
God, I hope.
It's just all syllables and words to me.
Yeah. It did look like you're not covered in enough tentacles for that to be hentai.
Wonder where you're going to go with that. Keep it clean. Yeah.
And we're back.
Normal chaotic. I think it actually was less chaotic when we were hacked than when we're actually producing material.
Because we just had to sit down and not do anything. Yeah.
Honestly, that morning, so it was Tuesday afternoon. It was Tuesday afternoon.
Yeah.
I was in bed ill because the night before I'd gone to Dave Andrews to play a war game.
That's right, I remember you telling me.
Freezing cold. It was so cold driving there. It was so cold driving back. He lives in the middle of nowhere. And I got quite ill from doing it.
Oh dear.
And I just saw this message from you. I was like, that's a funny joke. Carried on. And then my mind went, oh no. Yeah, it was a surreal moment. So, Pat,
what did you do wrong?
I mean, it could happen to anyone. I mean, we're not the only channel from talking to folks.
No.
This has happened to.
I think we have grown to a certain size that we are now being approached by sponsors.
Yes, yeah.
And we've done some stuff with Moonbreaker, which has been really good fun, and they've been great to deal with. Some potential other stuff that I guess I shouldn't really talk about because it's just up in the air at the moment.
Yeah.
It may or may not happen. And then we got an email from a mobile game company called, I think it's called Tower of Fantasy. Or something like that.
Which is weirdly the nickname for the Emperor.
Boy, it's Christmas. I want to be hacked again.
Please, Jeff, no.
Wait for no. Nobody will know what you said there. Daka, heresy.
They'll know.
They'll know.
They've seen the toilet walls. They'll know.
And I was like, we're in a position where we need sponsors. We need money.
Yeah.
And they were like, hey, we'll give you some money. It wasn't even an incredible amount of money.
No, it wasn't.
Or anything like that.
Can I just say, if you're going to hook people in, if you're not going to give them money at the...
I think that was a good way, because if they were like, we'll give you $1 million for doing this ad read, and it'd be like...
Yeah, true, yeah, maybe go low and spark enough interest.
So someone offered us $150 as a minimum payment, and then the rest... this, that, and the other on the amount of subscribers you have and where people are watching, because different countries have a different worth to different advertisers and all that kind of thing. And it was like, download our media pack.
Oh,
and some idiot clicked on it.
Oh, see, I didn't think there was a link or a download. I actually thought it was just embedded in the email. So
yeah. So I clicked on it and it was all my fault. And there was a video and a script that was like really terribly written. And then it all just went downhill from there.
Yeah.
Someone, I got a little. We had 2-step verification on.
Yeah.
Lots of people saying, "Hey, you should have had that on." You have to have it on if you're a monetized channel on YouTube.
Yeah.
And it was like, "Hey, someone's trying to log into your account." I was like, "No." "Hey, someone else is trying to log into your account." No. and then it was just like, I tried to log in, and it was like, "Oh, your password's been changed." Like, we'll send a code to your phone. And then I was like, yeah, go for it. And I was like, wait, that's not my phone number.
Was it at that point that your arse just fell?
Yeah.
I mean, that's really clever though, isn't it? Because it's 2 digits at the end. Most of it's all scrubbed out. This is something for you guys to learn, to bear in mind. And we did a little research, didn't we? We watched a channel that talked about this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Which was really helpful. Was when you get your verification through, your phone number, it will have like digits like all crossed out apart from the last 2.
Yeah.
Or last 3. And if you're not paying attention, because panic sets in, right? Panic sets in, or you're a bit like, I mean, that's what they rely on, is people to panic or to fluster or to go through speed and whatever. And if you're not watching that, that's where it all goes horribly wrong. So
yeah, well, I think because they were in order to change my phone number, they were already in.
Yeah,
so,
made no difference.
I don't fully understand. I think like somebody sent us a message on Instagram, I think, and they were like, "Oh, it takes all your cookies and your passwords and just like send it to them." But we had a little war for like 30 seconds. I was like trying to change my password.
Is it like swordfish?
No, I literally changed it to
burn them all. Daka.
Good, nice.
And a bunch of other stuff, and then they got in, they booted me out, and then we got onto Google and YouTube like immediately, and then a week later we got the channel back.
Yeah. So one of the things, I felt useless at home because I mean it was all happening on your end. All I could do was like, "Hey, we're being hacked. Don't click on any links." This is at first. I mean, a few people thought my social media channel had been hacked because I used the same photo of the video and say we've been hacked. I should have been a bit more clearer about that because it did look like my Twitter and my Instagram would also been hacked, but it wasn't. So a learning from my side of it. But I was looking on YouTube, and some guy, which I'll comment to and thank him for his advice. It happened to him.
Yeah.
And one of the things he suggested was if this happens to you folks at home, YouTube are incredibly difficult to get into contact with. They have no contact details. There isn't, unless your channel is like 1 million strong in subscribers, you don't get a representative. But this guy basically said if you at YouTube creator team or YouTube team in Twitter, they have like a little yellow gold tick instead of a blue tick, so you know it's definitely them. He said they got back to him in 4 hours. They got back to us within an hour, didn't they? He went, "Oh,
pretty quick.
We'll DM you with some details and stuff like that." So it did go on for a while, I must admit, but I was surprised on how quickly they did get back each time. Every now and again someone would send a post going, "Hey, I noticed your channel's been hacked." I'll be like, yeah, I hope it goes well, and I'll say thank you, and then they'll put a post going, "You're welcome." They're like, "Hang on a minute."
Oh yeah, YouTube would be like, "You're welcome."
I was talking to someone else like you. But one guy, bless him, he was just like, "Oh, it looks like," because he'd seen an older video by accident. It's so funny. He was just like, "Oh, it looks like your channel's back. Oh, that's great news." And then YouTube went, "Cool, no worries. If there's any more problems, let us know." And he was like, "Oh no, I'm so sorry."
Do you know what that reminds me of? As I seen that exchange of somebody looking like they're trying to do the right thing but is ultimately doing the wrong thing. Do you remember Elias in Die Hard when he's been dragged into the office and he's pretending he's John McClane's friend?
Oh God,
it felt like that. Tell him you don't know me, Elias. Hey, John, buddy, and I thought it felt like that.
No, bless him, he was trying to do the right thing, and he felt so bad. But yes.
Well, do you know what? It was lovely though how much people suffer.
So I was, and thank you so much to everyone out there that's reached out, and just whether that was just like saying thanks, liking the posts, retweeting the posts, checking up on us, making sure we're all right. I was having a bit of reflection over the weekend, thinking, this is really annoying, this is really awkward, I hate the hackers, they're scum of the earth. And on reflection, I thought, you know what, actually you need scum like that to actually know how many good people there are out there that will come together in crises like this, because loads of like big YouTubers, I'm talked to a bunch on Discord. I'm not going to start chucking everyone's names out, because if I do everyone's names, then I feel I have to do all the thousands of people that got in contact, and that's a lot of names to remember. But
I'll start going through the list.
Yeah. But a bunch of big YouTube channels reached out to wish as well, and then just lots of just like followers in the community.
A lot of people were given YouTube.
Oh God, yeah. They were like, "Come on, get your finger out," this, that, and the other. So
which was lovely.
We can't thank you enough. So thank you so much for your support, and it just situations like that just go to show that actually, you know, you realise how awesome this community is, and I'm glad to be part of it. And although working away from workshop, I think it's a stronger community. I've never seen like people rally round when I was in workshop in situations like that. It was always like you know, it's your fault, you get it fixed, and this that, and whereas here it was just like, oh my god, this is not good enough. I mean, granted, we may have boo-booed. But
no, we're a we. We're a
who else in the world hasn't done that?
Yeah, no, that's it. I think like hacking. One thing I thought is like, oh, it's so it's you know, I in a position where I'm like, okay, we need to earn money, and we need to earn it pretty quick.
Yeah.
And it's that mindset that they're preying on.
Yeah.
And on the outside, I've always said, oh, people get hacked. Like, I mean, I've seen was it people sent us the Corridor Crew video? Those guys got hacked, and they have millions of subs. I think they got theirs back a little bit quicker than us.
So what I find quite interesting from like, I like to think I'm quite savvy on the internet. I have a email account, Savvy Peach. So I don't have a Santander bank account. I don't have HSBC. I don't have Nationwide. And you get all these emails going, your Nationwide account has been hacked, this and the other.
Yeah.
I'm like, well, I don't have those. As soon as it's Lloyd's or as soon as it's one of the other banks that I bang with, you suddenly like get a little bit fear. You're like, hang on a minute.
Yeah.
And even though you know that you've had 5 or 6 from different other banks, is that little moment of just like, hang on a minute.
Click on,
Or like you get a text from Amazon saying, oh, well done for spending £450 this month on this product. You're like, what the hell? It preys on that moment.
Panic.
But
sheer panic.
You have to stop, take a minute, use a different device, check it. Because I always do that now. So sometimes on my mobile, I'll get like Amazon or PayPal saying I've paid this amount. And I'm just going to boot on my computer, just go onto my order history. No, it's fine. Just in case. I know it might be fine on my phone anyway, but I like to use something different. Just be on the safe side.
I felt really bad because last week, as will this week be, it's Christmas rush for me.
Oh, yeah.
Barbershop. And I was just like seeing messages and not being able to do it because I literally like.
But what could you do?
I know. I'm sitting thinking, I've got like 2 minutes between clients. I've got a phone. I haven't got a PC. The other thing. And by the time I could sit down to start writing, I'm going, I've got to go back. You know, it was like, and I just sat there feeling really blubber.
Other than sending fart jokes, I mean, not much you can do.
Felt really helpless.
Yeah, I mean, I did. I mean, I felt. I mean, I tried my best in the evenings to do what research I could, and like, hey, Pat, have you seen this video? Or, this person's got back with this thing. Does that help? And you'd be like, no, I've already done that.
It was interesting. I think we did everything. We did the right thing on like day one.
Yeah,
it was with going directly to like Google Workspace support. But I imagine they're just so busy.
Oh yeah.
Like I spoke to someone on the evening of day one. We had a couple of emails, and then I didn't hear from them for like 4 or 5 days. And that's the thing that we just like, well, is this just my life now? Oh, we've got to start again?
Yeah. I mean, we were prepared to start again, weren't we? That was
I mean, we had those conversations.
Yeah.
But and then I was chatting to YouTube on like Twitter, and they were a bit, with the time difference, still they were a bit more sort of replying on their emails a bit faster. And then I was saying like, what you're telling me to do, I already did like almost a week ago. And they're like, can you send us a video of what you're doing? And I'm like, don't see how that's helpful, but okay. So made.
And can you be naked in it?
See, this is why I was like, should I put a camera on myself? It kind of ruins the illusion that I'm naked.
From the waist up.
Yeah. As always.
No, he's ruined.
Oh, he's got trousers and huggies on.
Yeah. So if anyone's listening on Spotify,
I however, I'm wearing leather from the top down. From the top down, from the waist down, from the waist down.
I'm just in footy and jeans and a pair of Nikes.
I mean,
really decidedly ordinary.
There was a weird circle, wasn't there, at one point where Google was like, we can't reset your account because you signed in. Yes. And then they'll send a verification code to the hacker's phone.
Yes. They were like, oh, here's the thing to reset your password.
Yeah.
Because the hackers had put on 2-step verification.
Yeah.
I couldn't get in.
Yeah.
And then I made this video for YouTube, and I was like, right, that's going to be another day, because with the time difference, I reply in the morning, they reply in the evening. And I was starting to like stay up a bit later so I could try and reply quicker, but then they'd reply like 2 hours later, and it'd be like 2 in the morning, and I'm like, no. And then I sent that email with a video, and And then my phone pinged, and they were like, "Oh yeah, cool. You're having trouble with two-step verification. Reset your password. Done. We're in." I was like, "Okay, that was a surprise."
Yeah,
It was weird, really weird. So spent the morning cleaning up the channel,
mopping away those baddies.
Yeah, mopping away the hentai gig.
Did they then also were they able to then get access to your? Could they change the finances as well of that?
No.
No.
They haven't done it. It's bizarre. Like our AdSense account is all the same. Nothing got touched there. My like personal banking and everything is all fine. But maybe they're lulling me into a false sense of security.
Yeah.
So we'll see. Who knows? But yeah, we're locked in. We're secure. I deleted all the videos that they put up. I mean, everybody reported loads of them.
Yeah.
So they got taken down, which have given us a community strike. But I've emailed YouTube and hopefully they'll get that sorted. If not,
but I mean, it's like
doesn't too much. It runs out in March.
We're trying to affect or minimise the damage, aren't we? Would rather take that community strike so we're not people getting hacked themselves going onto these dodgy links. So
that's it. Yeah. So they were like, "Oh, because you deleted the video, you can't contest the strike." And it's like, well, I'm not having that.
Yeah.
On the maybe I could have made it private or something, but they'd also deleted like our descriptions, like in this video, Peach and Jeff talk about whatever. They deleted that and then said like, "Download my cracked software. Here's the password." So I got rid of all of those.
Well, at least we need to know where to go if we need 4K crack.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, they could have at least gone 40K crack. I mean, you could have like been on brand with it.
I feel really bad that I'm just using ordinary crack.
4K.
I didn't realise you could have 4K.
I also liked every now and again, and it felt.
Do you have to put when you're taking 4K crack? Do you have to have an HDMI cable?
I think so. Yeah. I think so. Yeah.
This is our first video back.
Don't get banned. No, what I was going to say. Yeah, the thing. It felt like when you get burgled.
No, I haven't been bagelled.
Or robbed or whatever.
Yeah, just like feeling
and then you just see someone like interfering with your channel going, "This is the new theme for my channel," and it's like the painting phase.
That made me pick up a blooming baseball bat and hunt the world down. This is the new direction of my channel.
They had loads of comments like,
"Oh, it was all bots though."
Yeah, but it like, "Oh my god, this really works.
Yeah,
this is great." And it's just like a few people were like, "What the hell is this?" and then those comments would get deleted.
Yeah.
But I get the impression they were on the channel for like a few days and then just gave up.
Yeah. But because they moved on to the next biggest.
Yeah, it's like that initial.
Yeah.
Like, oh, Paintingphase have released a video.
Yeah.
But thanks for sticking with us and watching some of the other videos. Anyway, that was.
That was while we couldn't do anything. Bob's video was still going really.
Yeah.
All hail Bob.
Oh, hail Bob.
You're right.
Yeah, it was a good chat. That was.
I love that video.
It's great, isn't it? Yeah, it really is.
So, Patreon giveaways. That's something I want to talk about.
Yeah, we want to say thank you to our patrons.
Yeah. I mean, they've stuck with us. They've supported us. And obviously, anyone in the community that is a subscriber or just been keeping tracks of what's going off, if you join our Patreon, you'll be in.
Yes, because people have actually, the Patreon was going up whilst we were in this limbo. To think that we were in limbo.
Yeah.
And people signing on to Patreon is a really lovely testament to faith in what we do.
Support of the community. So first of all, you brought this in, didn't you?
Well, we should preface this by saying we're going to do some giveaways on Patreon. We're going to draw them
at random
at random, any tier on New Year's Eve. And then we will post them to you wherever you are in the world.
Because obviously we have your email addresses if you're on Patreon, so we can contact you and get your details and stuff. So first,
but we promise not to hack you.
Yes, we won't. Don't worry. Our security on Patreon's far better.
All we need is your email address,
a PIN number,
the last 3 digits on the back of your card. That's fine. So what have we got?
We've got Wilding as Terminator, Azrak the Annihilator. Ooh. So you can only get this if you subscribe to.
If you were stupid enough to sign to Warhammer
Plus. What? How much is the year subscription?
50 something.
Yeah, so technically 50 quid.
50 quid, you get one animation and one miniature.
Yeah.
hot topic there.
Put one on the pudding.
We also have Pat's kindly donated a starter set for Kill Team.
So you get Orc Commandos and
Deathcore Krieg, and some nice little bit of scatter scenery as well.
The Deathcore Krieg are useful in their own right now since Imperial Guard Codex, aren't they?
Absolutely,
and the Commandos are sweet models. They're lovely.
So those guys pass that to you.
Certainly can. I'll
be back. And then recent events have nearly lost
steady.
Cadia stands. Box of those.
It has been opened, but everything is still in.
Yes, it was more just to unbox and check, make sure we haven't been hacked inside of that as well. So physically out. So we're going to give these away.
It's quite funny. I look through the codex; it's just full of girls like
with their mobile phones. This is the theme of our new Cadian army.
Somebody did that to Sisters, didn't they? They had Sisters of Battle, but they put all the heads into like the cat heads.
Oh yeah.
Or the Hello Kitty heads, them sort of ones.
Yes, that kind of thing. Yeah. So if you want to support us on Patreon, or if you are already supporting us on Patreon, we might add some more prizes, but that's what we have at the moment.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, just a massive thank you to everyone, whether you're just reaching out, liking, watching, tweeting, reporting, everything. We can't thank you enough.
It's nice to know you have our back.
Yes, yeah. And we just can't wait to make some cool content for the new year. And talking of new content for the new year, first of all, I've got a little Crimbo present from Mrs. Peach for each of you two. Oh yeah.
I think we were exactly the same pitch then.
Now, I did mildly repair one of these, so I'd say mildly repair. It could fall to pieces, so you might need some tweezers. The wife has brought you some beard sprouts. So since you both have amazing beards, just going to hold that there so you can see that. So you can wear those in the next show before Christmas. Some beard sprouts, mini clips.
Oh, I am actually speechless. I don't know what the best thing to say is.
Are they individual ones? That keeps
you individually clip them on. I mean, I think your beard will support more, so you might need to borrow some of Pat's.
Yeah, maybe. Pat's is reasonably hard.
He's going to stick some on. He's sticking some on now. Look at it.
Now. Because this will be...
Oh, it will be the Christmas one. Yeah, I suppose. Yeah. Get him on there. And if it has broken, then I do apologize. Oh, it's come off again.
It's all right. Don't worry. There's plenty of other sprouts.
There's plenty more to come out. Yeah, Mrs. Peach's like, you didn't fix it properly. Oh, well, love. If you want something doing, do it yourself next time.
I think I'll go. I think I'll start corners.
They're quite hard.
Oh, yeah. Well, maybe we should just do it as a sign out. Just do it. Oh, look.
I got one on the end of each.
Oh, that's good.
Occasionally.
I could just stick one on my ear, so I could just
good luck. Or on a nostril.
Yeah, I tried growing my hair out for this waifu.
Just didn't start.
I squeezed really hard. Oh no, I'm never going to do that. That is too tight. That is. Merry Christmas, everyone. I'm getting strong vibes of Khazad-dûm dwarves right now.
So we use the
semi painful.
Yeah, take him off.
Because I can't get it out.
Oh no! One of these sprouts ran off. Possibly for the best.
Yeah, so maybe Christmas Day we'll get some photos of you guys wearing those just sprouted up.
Yeah.
Right, I'm gone.
Oh, he's giving a good twist. Oh, that's it. This is Barber at
Central One in the middle.
Pat's in pain.
Relief of them.
So in a weird way, this video will probably go out before the other video, but the other video went on Patreon because we couldn't post anything.
Chat shows, yeah.
Chat show
just before we got hacked.
Yeah.
Couldn't upload it, so
which is
Patreon, yeah.
Awesomely funny chat show.
Yeah,
I think as well. I really enjoyed that one.
But we allude to that about doing in the new year a Necromunda campaign.
We did, yes.
And I said at the end of that, hey, I'll bring some toys in.
Yes.
So we can pick. And
are we doing Necromunda first, or are we chatting about Cavill?
Oh, let's do Cavill. Let's do Cavill. Let's chat about Cavill.
I thought that was the order.
Yeah, sorry, I forgot about him.
Got carried away with something.
I forgot about that big guy.
It's terrible because he all just talks about you all the time.
I'm sure he doesn't. But he doesn't even know who I am.
Oh, I think he knows who you are.
Everyone knows.
That's the sniper.
That's what you know that. What do they call that? You know that light that emits from the Emperor to get you through the wall.
The Astronomican.
well, you are like the.
I'm the astronomicant. Just like a black orb. And that's just the light shot off my head, I'm afraid.
A film with Antonio Banderas, and he's like a mariachi, but his guitar case is like filled with guns.
Once Upon a Time in... Desperado, yeah.
And then Once Upon a Time in Mexico.
They were like, are you a Mexican or a Mexican? And I remember just groaning and turning the film off.
I had an old manager ask me that when I questioned something years ago. It's just like, are you a Mexican or a Mexican? I was like, I actually quite find that funny. So
was that the same person who, like, when you were ill, they were like, come on, you're a space marine?
Oh no, that was early days of retail.
Oh, okay.
I don't know if any other retail guys used to experience this. So I remember when I joined the studio, I talked to Mark Jones and Dave Andrews about this. And they were like, this is stupid, ridiculous. This toy soldiers is made up. But when you're in retail, because you're young and naive, I had a manager, and it was actually a squad leader who was learning, bless him. And I wasn't feeling very well. And I rung up and I was like, I've got a migraine, really not feeling very well. And he was like, Space Marines have 2 hearts and don't get ill. So I'd like to see you here at 9:15 for training, please. And I'm like, oh, okay, so I'm going to get into trouble if I don't turn up. And I came in, I nearly crashed my bike this time. There was another time where I did crash my bike coming into work. Yeah. Because I had a migraine. Migraines aren't good for riding motors.
No.
Your concentration take away. You can't see particularly well either. No. So that's probably driving around due care and attention. But so I came in and I worked the whole day. It was horrible with a migraine, working the whole day on a Saturday, because Saturday used to do your training in the morning and stuff. And I just think they thought I was skiving, but I was just really ill. But after it's just like, I'm not a made up character. I don't have 2 hearts. No. I'm not a space marine. They don't exist. So
every time you eat a burger, you get the memories of the cow.
Yeah.
Imagine it would be awful if you ate another person who had a migraine.
Double migraine, yeah. Oh God.
I've got a migraine and I've got the memory of that man's migraine.
Kill me. So Cavill, he's signed up to do a Warhammer TV series.
Well, everyone knows the news.
We keep. I'm sorry to feel like I was saying.
No, don't chuck in.
Pedantic, but we keep saying a TV series, but I think it's going to be all encompassing, isn't it? I think the way I think the money from Amazon and what he's got planned and the greater ideas that are already out there, it strikes me. I think the best way to think of 40k in this case is if you think about how Star Wars roughly is living at the moment within Disney Plus, which is, it's going to be telly, but there's still going to be movie cinema as well. It sounds like, when I read between the lines, and to be fair, Grandmaster Valric brought this up as well. He says we're getting all a little bit zoning in on this idea of a TV series. He says it talks about big screen and small screen, so it could be a little bit more encompassing.
So I mean, there's Amazon Prime only movies.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
So I reckon it will just be released on Amazon Prime.
Well, he said they said big screen in the Blair, big screen.
So I've got a question to chuck around the table.
Yeah.
Question to all of us.
Yeah.
Which is, what do you think the theme will be?
I think personally,
I have strong opinions on this.
I think personally, Eisenhorn was already in the works with Amazon pre-COVID.
Yeah.
It was mentioned again at the February shareholders. So I think Henry Cavill's arrival will put a bit of a rocket up the backside of getting that going.
He does look like a younger Eisenhorn.
Yeah, I don't think he will play Eisenhorn, and the reason being is I actually heard him on an interview on a video game channel.
Yes, I know.
And he said, "Oh well, I can't play him because it'll stop me playing him." And play him,
if you pick a character,
I'll get killed off. So I get the impression he will pick somebody who's going to be hanging around.
Yeah,
personally. So he potentially
the Emperor then.
Yeah. So
just right away.
Yeah. So he gets more. I think it's so he gets more than one bite of the apple.
Yeah.
And he could be in as many of the different series.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah.
Well, he likes blue, and Gulliman's around again, isn't he? So
I
say he likes blue. He's dressed as Superman. So
I was trying to explain this to my wife last night, because she basically went. We were talking about it, and she went, what's this universe like? And I thought, oh God, there's like a minefield to walk through. And I was sort of like, oh, there's this big weird thing with chaos gods who convert humans into followers and yada, yada, yada. I said, but then there's all these other alien races that the humans don't like as well. And then human races on different planets are occasionally at war with each other. There's civil wars all the time. The Space Marines have all had one, and she was went, I don't know where you start with this. And I think Eisenhorn is the best place to start with because the books are readable.
Yeah.
Sorry,
even if you don't know the background. Yeah.
I said to my wife, I started explaining Eisenhorn, and my wife sort of ears pricked up a little bit. And I said, I think Eisenhorn is almost, and I mean like 98%, a readable series if you don't know the 40k universe.
Yeah.
If you just picked it up as a piece of sci-fi by a new writer and it was 3 books, I think you could read it without having to onto the Games Workshop website to see what a space.
I want to chuck some into that, and that's something I mentioned before, which is Dan Abnett and Bernard Cornwell, if you ever read any of Bernard Cornwell's book, are very good at not assuming knowledge.
Yeah.
So when Bernard Cornwell does his stories of like the 95th Rifles and Sharp, if you've read the first Sharp book, he doesn't assume you've read the first Sharp book. So when they use like a Brown Bess rifle or a musket or like a Baker rifle, he explains what they are. But he does it in such a way that even if you read the book, you don't feel sort of patronised.
Yeah.
And if you're new, you don't feel sort of like left out the loop.
Yeah.
He's very clever at describing things, making any kind of knowledge level enjoy the book. Dan Abnett does the same thing for his books. And I don't expect it to ever happen, but whether it's like a series, like take Star Wars franchise, right? You've got Boba Fett, you've got Mandalorian, you've got Andor, you've got Ashoka coming out, all these different things going off. I'd like to see a Gaunt's Ghost thing because it is pretty much Band of Brothers in space.
Well, I said to the wife, and this will be my last thing on it because Pat obviously got an opinion boiling.
Everything's in space,
but I think basically, I said to the wife, if you can get people to get on board with the universe with 40k and they accept chaos and they accept aliens of different races and the fact that it's this weird, futuristic but yet almost medieval world, medieval setting going on for the human beings. I said, if you can land it, then you can make whatever you want.
Yeah.
You can do TV series or movies about the Sisters of Battle. You can do Gaunt's Ghosts. You can do the Cowardly Commissar.
Oh, Cypher's Kane.
So once you've understood what a good commissar is like with regards to Gaunt, you can then show what bag one is like.
He's just funny though, isn't he? He's comic relief. It is Blackadder.
Absolutely. And I think, but you've got to land the universe.
Yeah.
If people are going, this is just too odd. Yeah, you've knackered it. But if you can land it, you can go in 20 directions.
Yeah.
Over to you, Pat.
So I think I am pretty much in line with your thinking. So, but then I am in two minds of what they're going to do. So I think like you say, there's so much to go at, and it's like, right, what do we focus on? Is because you have Horus Heresy, you got this, you got that, and you got all this stuff going on. So I think they will tell a smaller story. Like first, tell a smaller story in a bigger universe.
Yeah.
I think it has to be following a human, so people can relate to it. And with the like the Aquila that's shown, or the Imperial Eagle, like one side of it is gold and gleaming, and the other side is really cracked. So for me, it kind of backs up kind of what I'm thinking, because the humans, or the Imperium is like, it's space fascist, isn't it? Like it's all a bit extreme and very xenophobic and all that sort of thing. So I think personally, I don't think Amazon would be on board, like, because the humans are like the quote unquote heroes, because we're all human, and that's kind of like, they're humans, great. I don't think they can't go in saying the Imperium does this and great.
No, you
being
need to show
being
good.
xenophobic and being a fascist is great. So I think they'll have a smaller story with someone, a good guy in a bad system.
Yeah.
And he'll be trying to do good.
Yeah.
Which is Eisenhorn to some degree, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, he obviously becomes so radical and persecuted by the people he's trying to defend. So
absolutely right. Yeah.
So I think maybe something along those lines.
Yeah. Because my initial thoughts was Horus Heresy. And the reason
Horus Heresy would work, but in the same way as the books, is you go back to it.
Oh, yeah, you do the first three, which is like Horus Rising.
I'd do 40k now and then go back to it, because I think Horus Heresy makes more sense when you understand where we are now instead of starting.
Oh, I don't know, because I was thinking as well, it's like, they're not going to do Horus Heresy first, because, that's just loads of space politics. Yeah. And you go back to episode 1, Phantom Menace, and it was, space politics, so boring.
And also
Game of Thrones changed everything when you have all of these big parties all vying for the crown, and then like Andor has come, and I'm like, I love space politics.
Yeah. I mean,
Like, if it's done well, if you do have the Primarchs.
the only reason I'd say the initial 3 books, like Horus Rising, False Gods, and Galaxy in Flames, is I understood the Horus Heresy up to those books coming out. I knew what it was. I'd read the backgrounds. I got that these Adeptus Astartes books with like information of all the different legions and the backgrounds of all the different. But those books take from one legion's point of view.
Yeah.
And every now and again, you have a character brought in. But the difference is you're learning different races at the same time that they are. So they go to a planet and there's a race of aliens that they're just trying to wipe out.
Yes.
There's no assumed knowledge here. It's just like, there's some weird aliens that live in crystal buildings. We're just going to blow them up and take over because they said no. And
that's a bad word.
And then you're introduced to Eldar at that point. Yeah. You know, so it actually, for me, 40k, all those races exist.
Yeah.
There's a lot of catching up to do. Whereas Horus Heresy, you are introduced what a Space Marine is, and then slowly through Conquest, you start seeing other nations and factions and this, that, and the other. That was my only reason why those 3 books would make perfect.
Yeah.
I mean, this is all wish list. Yeah. They've got their own plan.
Yeah. It's not like they're tuning into us to find out what to do.
Yeah.
No, but
it's a problem I have is with Space Marines, which is why I would go Eisenhorn first, is obviously by its very nature, Horus Heresy is a very Space Marine story.
Oh, yeah.
And I just think they're ridiculously dry.
yeah,
They're big.
like
They
indoctrinated.
do nothing other than fight. And when they're not fighting, they're training to fight. And when they're not doing that, they're sitting in their little room on a spaceship reading books about fighting. And they don't go to the pub. They're not chasing women. They're not playing squash.
Yeah.
They're not having a game of snooker. They don't do any of them other things.
No.
They don't interact with each other unless it's prepping for war.
Yeah.
And you go, if you just followed them, it'd be really, really dull. They got it rounded nicely. If I just say there's a book called The Emperor's Spears, and the way they got round it, and that was that one Space Marine has been sent off to try and re-establish contact with another planet, and he has 3 servants. 2 of them are women and a male one. And one of them, she has an adaptation that she sees through his eye in war. So all of your understanding of Space Marines hacking people in half, it's from her view of her looking through his eye.
Oh, cool.
So it's this, again, it pulls that human element back into it.
Yeah.
And I think this thing of Marines work best if they are viewed by someone less than 8 foot tall. So that's why I personally go Horus Heresy.
Yeah.
Because it's basically Space Marine handbags at dawn.
Yeah.
So do you think that they will? I mean, Henry Cavill, he loves the lore and he makes a big deal of it and all that kind of stuff. Which, rightly so.
Yeah.
Do they? Because people will want to see Space Marine.
Yeah.
Like, there has to be a Space Marine in a Warhammer 40k show.
Yeah.
Do they humanize the Space Marines? Because I mean, something's gonna, whatever is released, movie, TV show, whatever. Like, you're gonna get a hashtag that's just like, not my Warhammer.
Yeah.
Like, and I've seen a load of stuff already saying like, oh, Amazon, they messed up Lord of the Rings.
According to some people, they did, but plenty of other people had a great time.
Yes. Yeah. Oh, yeah. So it would be really, really interesting to see what they do, whether they tweak things for the TV, cinema experience, or,
Well, the thing is if you look at going back against the Eisenhorn novels, when the Marine finally turns up, and I think it's when he comes into, the first one he actually sees is a Chaos Marine, but then when he comes into contact with actual Marines, and you get the impression Eisenhorn's met them many times.
Yeah.
But it's the Death Watch come in to help him and control the situation. And he goes into some just lovely detail about what Marines are. But from his point of view, because he's laughing, as we were talking about, wasn't he? Yeah. He's laughing at that whole point where he's lying in bed after being injured, and a librarian from the Death Watch comes in, and while they're there, someone serves them tea.
Yeah, he's got like,
and then he's got this tiny little teacup, but his finger is out, and Eisenhorn goes, this librarian is probably from a planet where they're raised well. And he goes, he's got his little finger sticking out. He says, which to anybody else would be the size of a baton that you would hold.
Yeah.
And I think that's explained. Space Marines in an Eisenhorn episode, one would walk into the room and that's where the episode would end, isn't it?
Yeah.
Get big doors open, something enormous, and the episode would end there, and that's how you introduce.
So I guess there's like pros and cons to both. So if you like take a story and redo it, and I'm using Amazon here as examples, two examples of Amazon. So if you take a story and redo it, so Wheel of Time, I've never read Wheel of Time. I started listening to the audiobook, got bored because the American's voice who used to narrate it used to really irritate me. It was so droned on for hours. I was like, oh my God. But it was a good story. I heard lots of people saying it's a great story, and I watched the Amazon Prime thing. I enjoyed it. Lots of people that are firm fans hate it.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
I don't know why. I just enjoyed it for what it was.
Yeah.
Then you take Rings of Power, which didn't really have a dedicated book for some of the stuff it focused on.
Yeah.
But it's taken background and pulling here and there, so they made their own story. People hate it. So you're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't. So part of me is like, maybe they just do their own narrative and story that pulls on all these different things.
Can I
hate that? Yeah.
Can I throw one into the ring for that? Is The Boys, which is Amazon. I read The Boys. It was finished probably
of course,
nearly 10 years before they made it into a TV show or thereabouts. And when it started, it seemed to create unnecessary avenues for itself that the comic didn't do. And I was like, why are you making that? Why are you making your life more difficult in this thing? And at first I was like, oh, But then as it went on, and you realise that it was actually aping a lot of satire of big corporations, which is ironic considering it's made by Amazon. But it was like politics in America and Black Lives Matter and the right-wing movements and so on. And all of that was being brought in with this massively big tongue-in-cheek sort of view of it all.
Yeah.
And then pointing and laughing at the Marvel and the DC universe as well. Eventually I went, Daka! This is actually very clever. And you realise it's actually, for as good as the books are, it's transcended the books. And looking at modern politics, because politics wasn't where we currently are when the comics were written.
Yeah.
So it's dragged everything up to date and done a really clever job at it. And I'm not suggesting that you should make 40k higher than a 12 certificate, although all of us adults want to see an orc cleaved in half.
Yeah.
But
so I just want the Orc series, just two of them sat around a fire.
Yeah. Talking about Commissary Eric.
Yeah.
Well, wouldn't it be good if the stories were told from their point of view, and then it just flips into a story, and you just get an Imperial Guard story, but the Orcs, how they heard it.
Yeah.
I mean, as long as I get to see like bolt guns being fired and at least one Wilhelm scream from a Space Marine would be great. But I mean, I'm still hoping out for a Gaunt's Ghosts TV series.
A big Gaunt's Ghosts TV series.
Because I
think if you land the universe, people will lap up.
Well, the thing I've always found with that is like when I watch, I will rewatch Band of Brothers over and over, and it was the 90s, and it's not really dated.
No, a lot of it's practical.
Yeah, exactly. And Gaunt's Ghost takes a lot of elements of that. I mean, obviously, it's probably written around the same time or before, whatever the show was, but you get the human element of 40k. So the first time, like the Tanith, because the Tanith are all new.
Yeah.
They're all raised. There's a guy who's been around for a while and fought other Chaos worshippers, who's leading the army. But their planet gets blown up. He abandons the planet. They don't like it. They don't like him. And they come across these cultists. They have to fight them because that's their job. And the first time they come across a Space Marine, they all break themselves. Yeah. Because they're like, it's 2 Iron Warriors coming down the lift. And it takes about 100 Tanith troopers to take one down.
Oh, wow.
2 rockets to take one down.
Yeah.
That's really cool. Yeah, and it's like in 40k games, you don't get that.
Minutia.
This Iron Warrior just mows down like a platoon with his bolt gun. And he's just like, holy crap, that's insane. So
see, the thing is, we've had second. When on the TV we've had Napoleonics, which is a very, very similar sort of sharp side of things. It's very similar to Gaunt's Ghost. And then we've had the Band of Brothers. Again, Gaunt's Ghost, it resonates through there. You can see it. But we've never had a really good TV series about a group of soldiers in the future.
Yeah.
No, you've never really had one with their all individual talents. A guy who's really terrible shot, so give him a gun that should really be on the side of a tank. And strong enough to carry it. A sniper who's a little bit aloof and people sort of work with, but don't hugely like him.
I always...
Well, so Bad Batch is probably...
and that's
because they have an aloof sniper. They have the guy, Wrecker.
The big muscle,
Yeah, so
and that kind of thing. So
or live action.
yeah,
See, I always wanted a TV series or something that was the build-up to the alien squad getting wiped out on LV-42, LV-427?
LV-426.
But it's like, because they've obviously been on lots of missions together and done lots of stuff. It's just like...
Oh, it's another bug hunt.
Yeah. So I always wanted that, but, that,
Yes.
you never get it now because all the actors are probably like 78.
I think like you're going to have to connect to whoever's on screen.
Yeah.
And if it's... I mean... Maybe you could do it with a Primarch, and they're like, oh, they still have emotions and this, that, and the other.
Yeah.
But yeah, it would be. I would love to see 100 Tanith and like versus 2 Space Marines.
Yeah. I think across the entire series, I've not read the latest book, but when you're introduced to a demon or when you're introduced to a Space Marine, it's first time for them as well because it's a scary notion.
There's what did they reckon there is? Some ridiculous numbers. It's something like 270 billion guardsmen. And a massive percentage of them fight war in, war out, and never see a Space Marine. There's only, which sounds ridiculous, 270 billion men. Yeah. Then you realise that when you look at Marines, there's only 1 million of them. 1,000 chapters of 1,000 men. Yeah. That's like a drop in the ocean compared to that. Yeah. So the blunt instrument of war in that universe is an ordinary man with a lasgun. Although it feels like it's the Space Marine, it's not. And also they're aloof enough. They pick their own fights, don't they? Sometimes they go, we need you to go here and deal that. They go, no, we've decided that we hate the Dark Eldar more today and we're fighting them instead.
There's a really good, I can't remember which novel it is now. I want to say Sabbath Martyr, but check me and correct me in the comments. A bunch of the Tanith have either been wounded or they've had to go back to basic, or they're too young, so there's Crid and Catherine's son, I forget his name now. They basically have to go into basic training.
That's right, yeah, I remember that book.
And they have I think a brown uniform or a really crappy looking uniform, so they're not even wearing the Tanith gear, and they're with this regiment of trainees or people that are learning all the basics and stuff, and they basically get sent into a battle, and these guys are Tanith, right? So their job is to scout, their job is to use their abilities and their senses, and they're rammed with a las rifle into line or massive column formation. They're literally there's 1,000 guys in a block being sent forwards towards the enemy lines, and the explosions are taking out 50 in one go.
Oh wow!
And they're just in the middle of going, "This is ridiculous. What's going on?" Fight. And then the next minute, there's loads of gunfire, there's loads of smoke, and they see a squadron of Lehman Russes go trundling past, and they're all cheering They hear a roar, they hear some explosions, and Lehman Russ comes flying through the air, skids next to them, and then they all start to suffer nosebleeds, and these weird oh god, they've got headaches, they've got nosebleeds, and then a demon prince appears out of the smoke, and then panic spreads. Not because these guys have fought before, they've seen demons, but it's the effect of that. It's demonic effect.
A lot of even happens to Heisenberg, doesn't it? When he keeps seeing something, he refers to a big giant walking around amongst these cultists in a long cloak, and he can't quite zone in on what it is. And when finally he does, and he's looking through the set of binoculars, all the runic symbols, gives him this instantly banging headache. And the Imperial Guardsman, if I remember rightly, is looking through a set of binoculars, has to put the binoculars down and just starts throwing up.
Yeah.
Because even seeing runic symbols is more than the human brain can cope with. Yeah. Now, wouldn't you just love to see that on the
Yeah.
being thrown through the
Yeah, absolutely.
Like something like that.
Cinema all day, isn't it?
Yeah. Or seeing one Chaos Marine and just being the sight of it makes me want
and that's right, but though isn't that more exciting, the idea of one Marine amongst scurrying men,
oh my God,
as opposed to 1,000 aside?
Yes.
A bit,
you just get a bit delusioned to how impressive they are.
I mean, we never talked about the other 9 Lehman Russes that got wiped out. Just the one that got thrown back.
Well, I think if they can buy into the universe, they can then they could be like Star Wars. They could just run off in any direction.
I think and have different, which I think is something that Star Wars is doing better with the series, is have different genres within the universe. So be like, this is your Western, this is your crime heist film, this is...
Who wouldn't watch a 6-part 40k series that only just centered on one Imperial assassin?
Yeah, that would be
being dropped into a battlefield and making his way to kill a high level Chaos Marine commander.
Yeah.
And then horror as well, when you get because there's a really good Lord of Night, I think it is, So Night Lord's Space Marines crashed. I think there's only one, and he goes into a hive city. And what he does, he doesn't just go wiping people out. He likes to spread terror. It's the pleasure of spreading terror. So he'll like leave people alive so he can spread the terror more. It's just like,
well, that's what the Punisher.
He's
one alive to tell the story. The Punisher's wiped everyone else out. But I think, and that would be the thing. If Amazon plays it right, what's to say you can't have a 12 certificate TV series? And then what's to say you can't have an 18 certificate TV series, which is just Night Lords going bananas?
Yeah,
you just
getting people
like back on Terra in the admin office. Just have like The Office, but in Warhammer.
nothing gets done.
Yeah, and it's like, where's my hole punch?
Oh,
I put it in jelly.
So the Rise of the Primarch. I forgot the name of the blooming range of books again. Oh God, there was the 3 books. About the
Horus Heresy book.
No, it was like the Fall of Cadia, the Fractured Biltan, and the Primarchs. I forget.
Not read them, but I know.
It's not Galaxy in Flames, but I forget what it's called. Someone corrected me.
People will know.
People will know. They'll tell me. But it's not important. What's important is there's a section in the Rise of the Primarch, right? And they go back to Terra, and Gulliman's with them, and there's all these other officials, and I think Yvrain might be there. And they basically go into this way he goes to have a chat with his dad. And as they're going up the causeway to the Emperor's Palace, there's like queues of people, queues and queues. But the tents. It's like a cardboard city of people.
Yeah.
And literally, people have like come from a planet because they've not been given the rights to mine here on their planet, so they've got to go back to Terra, to the Administratum, to get a docket signed.
Yeah.
But it's no longer that person there. It's his generation 4 times down, because the queue's that long.
Oh, wow.
They're actually having children and going through entire generations
just to get a form signed.
and then go back.
Oh, my God.
It's like suddenly getting YouTube channel unhacked.
But it just goes to show like how mad the Administratum is.
Yeah.
That, like the person that originally landed was about 100 years ago, and there's been like grandson and
there we go.
sons.
Gulliman's just walking past that. That'd be like that time with
got a fast pass.
Yeah, it's like that time with Phil and Holly at the Queen's funeral. Does he just get to go walk around? I know he's 8 foot tall and blue, but come on.
That's a sitcom right there.
Yeah.
Just waiting in that queue.
Yeah.
You're like, right, Simon, how are the kids?
Wouldn't you watch?
They've been practicing the signature for 5 years.
Wouldn't you watch a series? Wouldn't like a series of 40K? Of like 10 episodes where each episode was just like one weird little problem within, just like a whole episode just dealing with one weird mundane element.
Oh yeah.
Like the guy who just like fixes servo skulls.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, they get the skull. You go, there's still brains in this one. Oh,
yeah.
I mean, take God's Ghost again. So there's a bit where they're going on a mission. I think it's the 4th one. They're airdropping into this enemy city. Yeah. And all their lasguns have got the wrong magazine.
That's right, yeah, I remember that.
And they're just like, so they go to the guys like, you signed the docket, mate. If you signed the docket, it's on you, not me. You should have read it. It's like, no, we asked for these. You sent us these. So they end up having to rob another regiment's ammo because they're stealth troops. They have to like literally nick some stuff. So they can actually
like was it
Rogue Heroes when they robbed all the stuff?
Yeah, of course, yeah.
New Zealanders.
First few SAS missions, they just nicked the Allies stuff
and a piano,
yeah. That was so funny. I did watch all through that. That was really good.
So what is like your stupid pitch? Amazon's in front of you. Warhammer's really successful. They want to take it in different genres. I want to see like what the shopping channel would be like in Warhammer 40K, or like a Nurgle cooking show.
I want Family Guy, but from a Gene Stealer cult point of view.
Oh yeah.
So like the dog is like a pure strain gene stealer, so, and then the rest of the family have all just been possessed by the cult. But it's a comedy. It's a comedy satire.
And trying to pretend to be human. And they're like, oh no, the neighbours want to come round again.
Quick. Put the bandanas on.
Yeah.
Oh, it's part of like one's in the wool yard.
Yeah.
But one's completely purple with extra arms. That's Meg being locked away.
Mine would be the guy who's desperately against all odds trying to keep that Chinese takeaway open. whilst being in the middle of Necromunda, where there's just gunfights out every. It's just like he goes, go and deliver it. It's up in the go to number whatever of the spire before it goes cold, and his delivery man goes. He's like, delivery driver wants it.
So yeah, just all sitcoms.
yeah, absolutely. Yeah, you got to do sitcoms in 40K. That'd be great. I love the idea of The Office, though. Administratum The Office.
Oh, that would be very good.
Yeah. Or like, have you guys seen Running Man? On your film.
Yeah.
You do something like that. That'd be great.
Oh yeah.
Right, so I want to move on to the next topic.
Please.
Yeah.
Talking of Necromunda was a great segue.
Yes.
Yeah.
So in the last show, we briefly mentioned this. So I have. Oh God.
Oh, it's a line.
Excited. I have some treats for you all. So Jeff.
Yes.
We talked. You had 2 gangs you'd like to pick. One was the Delac.
Yes.
Or the Enforcers. Which would you go with?
I'm going to go with the Delac.
Delac. So first of all, I
Can't go wrong with toys.
No.
This is Alone. This is Alone. This is my Book of Shadow. So that is for you. I have. I didn't have the box of Delacs, but I did have something called Hive War, which is has Delacs and Echoes in it.
Yeah.
So I have a set of Delacs. I need to find the instructions for you.
Thank you, sir.
7 instructions.
Bag
of
they
bases.
look so cool already.
And of course, we have the extra add-ons with the weird, wacky things.
Absolute star. Thank you very much. Oh, you are kind.
I know. I have my fans. I have my moments.
And there was me thinking it was just me beard sprouts.
And also, I forgot. He's obviously getting more than you, Pat, because for some reason the ones that you had didn't get that much.
No.
I've also got the upgrade sets for extra weapons.
Thank you very much.
So in the sets you get certain weapons, but you don't get all of them. Yeah, you get a sniper rifle slung up, which is quite nice.
Yeah.
But you also get one where you can actually arm it now.
Oh, excellent. Thank you so much, sir.
Hat trick. You like the idea of the corpse grinders.
Yeah.
Also a social media app if you're into that kind of thing.
Corpse Grinder. Is that... Oh no, I'm making the connections. Oh no.
No, please. No.
So there's your book, The Book of Ruin. The Book of Ruin. And I have Corpse Grinder Cult. I've actually put an extra sprue in there for you as well, so you've got some extra men, because you need more initiates than skinners. Initiates are a bit like, you say, you break your gang up into a leader, champions, gangers and juves. With your guys, you have a butcher, which is your leader, cutter, which is like your champion, skinners, which are like your gangers, and then guys called initiates, which are like your juves. But you can't have more skinners than juves. You can have equals, but you can have more.
Oh, so
that made no sense.
Don't worry about it. Oh, there's some bases for you. Like I said, because it's all new to you, I'm going to talk through your gang and there's some bases.
There's the Necromunda bases.
Fantastic.
And I've already got an extra. So
I feel bad now because you're kind of going to give yourself a present out of your own stuff.
That's fine. It gives me a nice. So I've not got round to doing my Van Sars yet, and I'm in 2 minds here. Yeah. And what I'm going to do here is I'm going to leave it to the chat and the comments to decide for me. So as of yet, I have some Van Sars built and undercoated black, but not painted. So I can either do Van Sars, because the Book of Artifice, or
futuristic
I
boys.
could do a second gang of, and I'm a big fan of Esches, a second gang of Esches, and I was thinking of calling them the Crimson Queens and painting with reds and stuff like that. I'm doing a different version. Have you lost the camera?
Yeah, it's over here. But it's okay, not to worry. I'll just change battery and it'll be cool.
That'll be cool. So yeah, guys, in the comments, the majority gets picked. So whether that's Van Sars or Esches, because I can't pick, I can't decide. But what I do have on top, I don't know if you want me to wait until you finish with your camera. Oh, that's fine. So in the campaign, we're going to do. So normally when you do a Necromunda campaign, you can pick different types. A standard one's called Dominion, and in that you have a phase called the Occupation, where you take territory. Then you have like a week where you have downtime, where sometimes you can do extra games if people really want to fight, but most of it's just to build extra stuff or just have a break. Yeah. And then you have something called Takeover, which is 3 more weeks of gaming. What we're going to do is we're going to do 4 games. Yep. Me versus you. Yes. Me versus Pat. Pat versus you. And then a 3-way at the end.
Again, first video back.
I've got a great idea for the 3-way, which I'm not going to mention yet, but I've briefly talked to you guys. But what I do have is I've made us all a tracker. This is going to be a free hired scum trooper or hanger-on. I've made one for you, which is very Dalek based. So he's going to be your scout, your tracker. That's going to help you get into your. We might get some 3/6 of these over the shots. So we do. For you, I've made using bits of what they're called, Outcasts, and some Chaos Blooded. You've got a Chaos Inflicted tracker.
Oh, that's so cool.
And then I've made me in Necromunda style. So whether it's Escher's or Vansar's, it doesn't matter because it's got my face on it. So it's just going to be Piatch the tracker.
Oh man, I'm really touched. Thank you so much.
So yeah, so you've got a tracker each, which will be a free member. They won't cost points. We'll work out what ornaments they've got.
Yeah.
But they can be added to your gang in every game unless they die, of course. But they're going to be helping you through the area because I need to do a little bit of a map-based campaign. But yes. So New Year,
Hyped already.
That's very kind, Peach. It is incredible.
Yeah.
So yeah, because with the hacking situation, we're releasing this out of order. So yeah, we're doing Necromunda games.
Yeah.
Can't wait.
So maybe 4, but we will see if we can work that down to less or whatever. But definitely be some bat reps, and I think we should do some painting challenges as well.
Yeah, I think that.
Where we sit down. I think you'd benefit from Slapchop with this lot. You know.
Yeah, I was thinking that maybe, but I think Slapshot might both work for them leather jacket, them coats. I think that'd be
lots of shading over.
Yeah.
So I bought you all a stupid little Christmas present.
Oh, nice.
I mean,
I feel bad now. I've changed.
Like I feel terrible because PG bought boxes and boxes of Necromunda, and I've gone. I bought some silly.
You're doing me a favour, and it's all going to a good place.
So I think I bought. Somebody messaged me on Instagram, and they were like, "You should use some Turbo Dork paints."
Oh, right.
Like the Colour Shift Metallic.
Oh.
And I think the challenge will be to try and incorporate all these colours into our army.
Well, for Escher's, that's going to be super easy.
Yeah,
Even for Van Sar, that'd be super easy.
If you want to pick whichever one you
Let's
want.
have a look.
I'm not going to look.
Let's have a look. Oh, that's a good idea. That's a good idea. Oh, I'm going to go. I'm going to go for that one because it's got the best name ever.
Is it laser?
I've not looked. I've got Rainbow Roll.
Oh, you could have had Supermassive. Oh, Supermassive. That's great. Cheers.
Oh, thank you very much.
Turbo Dork.
Oh,
Yeah. So I accidentally bought 2 Laserface.
I'm so glad you did because that's a great name.
I might go Laserface as well.
That's like Taserface from Guardian of the Galaxy.
Yeah.
So you have to get that colour in your army somewhere.
Yeah.
Maybe just on one person.
Wow, isn't that interesting? I wouldn't have thought that for most vibrant results. Apply over black.
Interesting. And I see what other chaosy bits I've got. But what I would say as well is I've got bags and bags of weapons and equipment. So
apologies. Yes, dear? Yes. Oh, is that the Google thing?
It's the Google thing.
Yay,
We'll open it. I'll open it.
We can get money.
Yay! Yeah. It's all happening live, folks. Well, I say live. You'll be watching this not live,
I'm
but
gonna blur that out so people don't see my address.
No, sorry about that.
I'll just cut to a different camera.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Even better. So I've got like loads of bits back. So if you ever like, I really have to a pouch, or I really want something like a spade or something like that, I can rummage through, and we can even do like a day where we just sit and build them all.
That'd be cool.
And I could just put like piles of stuff in the middle.
Yeah,
that'd be quite good fun.
Yeah.
But you've got till what I'd say middle of Jan, maybe.
Build mine over Christmas.
Yeah, I'm going to build mine over Christmas.
Yeah.
I'm going to wait until when you. Well, I'm not even going to say when you plan on getting this out because I just want to know what I'm making.
Yeah, this week. So people have to vote on your army.
Yeah. I just put in the comment.
We'll do a poll on Patreon.
What about doing a poll on Patreon and YouTube?
Yeah,
that sounds fair.
Yeah. Do both.
Add the results together.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Yeah,
cool.
We'll do that. Yeah, so don't worry about dropping in the comments. We'll do a poll.
Yeah,
smart idea.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm stoked. I'm ready. I'll be the arbitrator. So even though I'll be playing in the campaign, I'm still going to be running it as well.
Yeah. I have no idea what I'm doing.
That's fine. That's the whole point.
Yeah.
I'm not going to like rinse you both. I mean, you've never played.
No.
So it's good.
No.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
So the books have got like background. The books have got your gang in it. There's also for you. There's other gangs like Genius of the Cults, but yours will be the corpse grinders.
Yeah.
So technically, the guys that grind up all the corpses and meat and then turn it into like food, but they are possessed by chaos. A fair few of them are.
I thought Corpse Grinder was a dating app for homosexual necrophiliacs.
See, when you went food, I just thought gun, shot, dead. Corpse scotch. Done.
Oh, Gordon Ramsay. We need to get him on the show.
We do. Yeah, Gordon, if you're watching, please come on the show. Well, it's been an interesting week. We've had some lows, we've had some highs. We've got a great community behind us. So
we realised how great the community.
Absolutely. Yeah, you need bad days to realise how many good people are out there.
You're absolutely right.
Yeah, fantastic.
So, are we rolling in?
I think so. Yeah.
So we've mentioned it many times, but we have a Patreon, and it helps keeps the lights on, helps keeps us in biscuits and tea.
And if you want a chance of winning some of these treats and you're not on Patreon, subscribe.
Yeah, you know,
get in there.
That's it. Patreon giveaway. Maybe we'll start making it a regular thing.
Affiliate links. When you get all of that money in your Christmas card and you don't know what you're going to do with it, you're going to spend it at Element Games.
Yeah.
You might as well spend it at Element Games through the link that's below here.
If you're in the UK, yeah.
Yeah, and
or
if you're German.
Taschendasklieb.
And you need well done. And you need to spend
Try
your
to
Christmas.
remember it. Nice.
You need to spend your Christmas euros down there as well.
Absolutely.
There's all sorts, but thank you very much.
Thank you very much. We've had a blast. I can't wait to see what's happening in the new year.
Yeah, me neither.
Can't wait to do some of this stuff.
I hope everyone has some nice time off.
Yes.
And, gets to relax. And
Should have wore a hat. Merry Christmas hat.
Keris did message me actually. I just saw she was like, "Oh, I've got those antlers if you want them."
Completely, other than the Brussels sprouts.
Ignored her.
Yeah.
On purpose.
I did. Yeah.
But we got some light Yodas that
wife
did.
The light Yodas are very cool.
Yodas.
Fantastic. But yeah,
Cool. So
thank you very much, everyone.
And a Merry Christmas if that is inclined into your calendar. If not, have a great week.
Holidays.
Happy holidays.
bye bye.
Love you all. I'm having a biscuit. Been waiting way too long.
Leave that in.